PK in the universe, and today I'm here to talk about the gaming backlog. A lot of people love to talk about their gaming backlog. In fact, some people have made an entire series about backlogs on their YouTube channels. A lot of people do this, or they have like backlog challenges and see how many games they can complete from their backlog. So I wanted to talk about my backlog or lack of backlog because I don't really buy into what the backlog is. I mean, what is a gaming backlog? I've heard a lot of different things from a lot of different people what they consider their gaming backlog to be. Typically, it's games that people have in their video game collection that they have not played and intend to play. And to me, that's the key there, is intend. I have a lot of games in my collection I have no intention of ever playing, but maybe I bought them for very different reasons. And I think that's one thing, is sometimes people buy games for reasons beyond simply playing. And I have bought games for a number of reasons. One, I bought some games because I'm nostalgic for it. Okay, like it's a game I played when I was a kid. So naturally, I would like to own a copy of that. I don't necessarily need to play it again. Maybe I want to, maybe I don't. It just depends on the game. Every game in my collection is a case-by-case situation. Now, some games I've bought for dirt cheap, and I don't ever intend to play them. But maybe I bought them because maybe I think my son might actually want to play this game. And if I look at it and I decide, you know what, I don't think he'll ever play it, and I have no desire to have it, then I just sell it. But I don't actually sit here and think, oh, I'm going to play that game someday. I don't look at my games the way other people do, I guess. I look at my games as in, there's games I want to collect, and there's games I think my son might like. Now, there are games in my collection that I have not played. So does that make them part of the backlog? If I don't intend to play them, how can they be part of my backlog is the real question. And I don't consider myself to be one who has a backlog. I love my game collection. It's cool. You know, it's part of an aesthetic. It's a part of a style. It's part of the game room. Another reason people might have a backlog is because they have games they intend to beat. And that's something else entirely, you know, having a list of games you want to beat. I don't have a list of games I just need to beat. You know, if I start playing a game and I want to beat it, I just do, or I just forget about it and do something else. I don't look at my collection as something where it's like, these are games I definitively have to beat or not to beat. I just don't look at my collection that way. I look at my collection as there's a couple of different kinds of games in my collection. There's games I personally feel nostalgic for, so I keep them in my collection. There's games that I bought that were super cheap and I'm probably going to sell them someday, but maybe my son might like it, and so I keep them around. But if I look at it and I see like, you know what, my son should never play this game, or I never want to play this game, or, you know, I don't think he'd ever want to play it, then I typically sell it if, you know, I feel like it and if I have the time. But what I don't have is a situation where I feel like there's any games in my collection I feel obligated to play or obligated to beat. And I feel like that's what a backlog is. It's a guilt list, honestly. It's a guilt about not playing your games when you shouldn't have any guilt about it to begin with. It's just games, guys. It's what it is. It's what it comes down to. Games is what it's all about. It's like, it's supposed to be about fun. It's not supposed to be about guilt. I think that's dumb, and I just completely reject this belief system that if you have games in your collection you haven't completed or beaten, that you have a backlog. I just reject this narrative completely and utterly. You know, and that's what I believe. I made this video because I hear so many videos talking about a backlog or a backlog challenge or people feeling obligated to play and beat all their games. And it's like, these are your games. They're supposed to be about fun. Do whatever you want with those games. Don't worry about what you're seeing on social media but feeling obligated to buy, play, beat, whatever. You know, it's just games. At the end of the day, as much as I love video games, there's so much more to life to do than play video games. Again, obviously I collect a lot of games, I'm passionate about it, but at the end of the day, there's so many more things going on right here or right over there where you're at. Anyways, what are your thoughts? After watching this video, do you feel like you have a backlog, or you want to break away from the backlog, or the whole internet peer pressure of completing the backlog? Comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.